Over the weekend of the 20th and 21st of May, I took my Dodge weapons carrier to Blyth Battery for their wartime weekend. The battery is located just south of the port of Blyth in Northumberland, northeast England. It was built in 1916, during World War I, following the German Navy attack on Hartlepool in 1914. The southern part of the complex consists of two 6-inch naval guns, a ranging tower, observation tower, ammunition store and shelter. Further north up the beach, were two searchlight emplacements with another building to the rear. I'm guessing that was a generator building, but due to its size, probably had other uses too. I arrived on Friday afternoon, and set up my camp, with the sun shining, and no wind. This is unusual for Blyth, as there's normally a cold sea breeze. I didn't want too many valuable display items about, as I wanted to be free to look around the show. As the sun set, the clear sky allowed the temperature to drop quite a bit, but it did give a nice evening sky. On Saturday morning, there was a thick sea mist blowing in from the southeast, and the breeze was cool. I decided to go for a look around the displays before it got too busy, starting with the Army film and photographic unit set up next to me. Opposite, in the middle of the show field, was the Home Guard display from VERA. They had a large number of weapons on display, including a rifle-mounted grenade launcher, which I thought was a clever piece of design, being able to quickly revert to a standard rifle. Behind VERA was the 1st Special Service Force display. Next to the FSSF display was a German motorcycle and sidecar. I say German, but I don't know if it was original, or the Russian copy, or the Chinese copy of the Russian copy. Moving up the field towards the battery was the display from the 1st Platoon, A Company, of the Durham Light Infantry. To the left of the DLI display was a Ferret armored car. To its left, was the Hangar 1914 display. This was a World War I diorama where the guys are slowly building a full-size replica of a Sopwith tabloid biplane. From there, I walked past the observation and ranging towers, down the rear of the magazine and shell store, to the next vehicle display by the shelter. Displayed here were 3 Jeeps, a Morris 8, an Austin Cambridge, and a Merryweather fire engine. The German displays were located on the grassy hill just beyond the gun battery. There were a number of displays, but I don't know whether they were all part of one German group, or several different reenactor groups. The display extended much further than in past years. Some of these pictures were taken later in the weekend when the sun was out. Another small German display was located at the end, opposite to the larger display. About halfway back to the battery was the US display from the Whiz Bangs reenactor group. They had 3 vehicles and several weapons and other items on show. Walking away from the beach, towards the car park behind the battery, brought me to the next vehicle display. This was a mix of World War II and post-war vehicles, including Jeeps, Land Rovers and a Leyland DAF truck. From there, it was back onto the show field to the remaining displays heading back towards my Dodge. The first in the line was the Royal Navy Beach Assault. Next was Y Troop, Royal Marines Commandos. This group also took part in the beach battle. To the left of the Commandos, was the 7th Royal Northumberland Fusiliers display, with more weapons, personal kit and a medical display. Next was the Yesterday's Heroes display. They were joined on Sunday by another member who brought his Jeep. Between the Heroes and my Dodge were 2 guys, down from Scotland with a photographic display, which included several vintage cameras. On Sunday, I noticed another group had arrived and set up next to VERA. They were the Combined Forces Living History Group. I missed the battle on Saturday, but it was still quite misty at the time. On Sunday, I had a wander around the battery buildings before making my way to the battle area. This is the observation tower, and a view from inside. From there, I walked down the steps and along the back of the magazine. Then up onto the grassy area between the German displays, ready for the battle. I started at the edge of the beach, as the British Commandos advanced over the sand. I lost sight of them as they climbed the grass-covered hill, so relocated to the back of the battle area, behind the Germans, where they would be advancing towards me. Later on Sunday, my Dodge was used in a photoshoot with Miss B Haven, so I grabbed a few phone shots as I didn't have my proper camera handy. After that, it was time to start packing my tent away. I set off home, a little after 4 p.m., just after the show ended. The drive home took about an hour. Please like and subscribe if you want to continue following the adventures of Faith, Hope and Jesse, my 3 military vehicles.